Here's a statistic that really surprised me. Did you know that about 93% of adults in the United States do not have optimal metabolic health? When I first heard this number, I was really surprised at how high it was. Now, if you've experienced a rise in blood pressure, blood cholesterol, sugar, or weight, you may fit into this category. Many people think metabolic health only matters when it comes to blood sugar and diabetes, but in reality, it's connected to many common health concerns, including cardiovascular disease, fatty liver disease, prediabetes, and weight gain. It also affects how well you age and how you feel. But the good news is there are many things that you can do from a nutrition and lifestyle standpoint that can improve your metabolic health. My name is Martha McKittrick. I'm a registered dietitian and a certified diabetes care and education specialist. And in my video today, I want to go over what is metabolic health, how can you assess yours, and most importantly, what can you do to improve it? So actually, what is metabolic health? It's how your body takes nutrients from food, turns it into energy, and use that energy throughout the body. It also reflects how well your body regulates certain systems like your blood pressure, your blood sugar, your cholesterol, and your weight. And when these systems are working well, you have good energy and good overall health. But when metabolic health starts to decline, you might start to notice changes in your blood sugar, your weight, your cholesterol. And oftentimes these happen very gradually, and you don't even notice that it's really happening until you actually see changes in your blood work. Aging can also play a role in declining metabolic health because as we age, changes in our activity level, our muscle mass, and our hormones can make our bodies less efficient at regulating energy and glucose levels. The loss of muscle is especially important because muscle is a very active tissue and it uses glucose. When we have less muscle, less efficient at regulating glucose. So how can you assess your own metabolic health? Doctors will usually use several markers. The first one would be your blood sugar control, and they would check your fasting glucose as well as your hemoglobin A1C, which is a 3-month average of what your blood sugar is. And if these numbers are higher than they should be, it could indicate early warning signs of insulin resistance, which is linked to a decrease in metabolic health. And this would be if you weren't actually in the diabetes range, but your numbers were higher than they should be. Another set of numbers they would look at would be your lipid panel, and what's especially helpful would be your triglycerides and your HDL. When we see a higher triglyceride and a lower HDL, it's also suggestive of insulin resistance, which again could be linked to a decrease in metabolic health. Blood pressure is another key marker that your doctor will monitor, and they may also want to monitor your waist circumference because when you have more fat around the abdominal area, it's also called visceral fat. That's more strongly linked to metabolic disease than fat stored in the other areas. So basically, looking at all these markers together can put a picture together of your overall metabolic health. Let's get into some practical things that you can do to help improve your metabolic health. There are so many things that you can do from a nutrition and lifestyle standpoint that can improve insulin sensitivity and key markers like blood pressure, blood sugar, blood cholesterol, and body composition. One of the first ones I like to start with is balancing blood sugar by eating meals that contain some protein, some fat, some fiber, and a moderate portion of carbohydrate. This is going to help prevent blood sugar spikes and crashes, so your blood sugar will be nice and level. The next one would be to eat a lot of high fiber foods. From nuts and seeds and whole grains and things like flax seeds, chia seeds, vegetables, legumes. Foods rich in fiber can help to lower cholesterol, can help with blood pressure, and can help to regulate blood sugar and improve the gut microbiome. So many benefits to high fiber foods. You also want to eat foods that are rich in micronutrients from fruits and vegetables and whole grains. For example, potassium can help to regulate blood pressure just as much as limiting sodium can do. Don't forget about stress management, getting enough sleep, and moving your body. Different kinds of exercise can have a huge impact of helping with metabolic health, especially weight training, because the more muscle you have on you, the better your body's going to be and more efficient at regulating that blood sugar. So these are just a few things. There are so many things that you can do to help improve your metabolic health. Some of you might be confused on what to do next, especially if you're dealing with multiple conditions, like maybe blood sugar, cholesterol, and weight. So these are things that I do with my private clients. I start where you're at. I give you a lot of education. We set very small goals that will be realistic. And so eventually you will see big improvements in your markers and weight if that's your goal. So if you need some personalized guidance, reach out to me on my website. I would love to help you.